I originally come from a background in law and social justice and just kind of fell into the security world and never left. Um, Originally, my security experience stems from doing security for very high end, very high profile billionaire clients, mostly in both the physical security and digital security realm. And through that work, we realized there was a much broader need for cybersecurity for a much broader audience, which was the impetus for creating Rubica. Cybersecurity is consumes most of my life, but on the side, I'm also a mom. I come from a big family. I like to spend time outdoors. I'm from the Northwest. I also am very into sports. I do basketball, soccer, CrossFit, and try to read fiction when I have time, although most of the time I'm still stuck kind of in academic papers about cybersecurity. I wanted to start Rubica because of the realization that there is a much broader need for meaningful advanced cybersecurity that didn't exist in the market. A few years back before we started Rubica, we realized there was this huge gap in terms of the accessibility of meaningful cybersecurity. And really, you had to either work for a very large company like a Microsoft or an Amazon to get corporate cybersecurity protections, or you had to have lots of money and be basically a billionaire. Otherwise, all the rest of us were left with antivirus and maybe identity theft monitoring, which just isn't adequate anymore given how pervasive and sophisticated cybercrime has become. So it really was the mission to create Rubica was really based on democratizing access to cybersecurity to everyone. And it's become now, I feel it's become a individual right to be safe online. It's really our digital right to have access to tools that provide meaningful security to families, given how intimately intertwined our digital and physical lives are now. I think cybersecurity is one of the fastest moving and changing industries. It's a great it's an industry where you have to use both sides of your brain, creative and logical. And I think one of the exciting things about what we're doing at Rubica and why I really enjoy leading this company particularly is because we're really sitting at the forefront of innovation even within this innovative industry. And there's, lots of companies like to say that innovation is a pillar of their company, but for us, it really is an imperative where the only way we can stay ahead of emerging threats is to continually challenge assumptions and think outside the box and really and take risks in those ways. And you can only do that with diverse teams. So we put a huge emphasis on not only building a really diverse team for problem solving around these issues, but also creating a workplace where everybody can show up as themselves. It's inclusive. It's a place where you can challenge the status quo and challenge your teammates and challenge even what we're doing, because that's how you get to the best results for our clients and for what we're doing in the industry.
That's great. That's a great answer. So when you think about cybersecurity in your personal life, what matters most to you?
I think, and what matters most to me about cybersecurity and in my personal life is, I'm always wearing two hats. One as the cybersecurity professional, and one as just a person, a mom, a family member, a working individual. And the thing that always strikes me is actually the humanness of cybersecurity and security in general. A lot of what we do at Rubica is not just cold tech. It's not just the technical piece of the solutions. It's helping people through crisis. And when you feel vulnerable, or when you feel like your digital world has been invaded, has a really human impact. It's as bad or worse than being physically burgled, frankly. And so a big part of what we're doing is it's not just bringing the tools to people and making making these resources available to protect yourself, but it's having that human element to handhold you through those situations. And I feel that and see that in my personal life too. I've seen that affect people, and that's a big piece of our mission and what drives us to do what we do. What do I love about Rubica and the Rubica team? So much, everybody who works at Rubica is really committed to the mission of what we're doing, which is to bring meaningful advanced cybersecurity to families and individuals in a way that's never been done before, in a way that's designed for them from the beginning. And all the people that we have in our company are, again, really committed to that mission and really care about protecting people. This isn't just a widget that we're building. It's not just any old app. It's really changing people's lives. And I'm always impressed by the amount of talent and confidence and ability in the people that work for Rubica, but coupled with the fact that there's a certain lack of ego, and given that the mission and that lack of ego that everyone brings to the table, there's a really unique sense of camaraderie between everybody. What Rubica does in a nutshell is we bring enterprise-grade cybersecurity to individuals and families, but in a way that's designed from the ground up specifically for the practicalities and nuances of everyday life. What Rubica does is we're essentially bringing the billionaire-level cybersecurity service we were providing before and making that available to all people. And that means that with Rubica enabled on all of your devices, your phones, your tablets, your laptops, you can connect securely from anywhere in the world, on any network, from any device, and do any activity and be protected at an enterprise-grade level, but in a way that's built with with knowledge of the practicalities of your everyday life and that convenience is needed in your everyday life. Yeah, the difference, I think one of the problems with corporate cybersecurity historically is that it tries to shove security down people's throats, and you can't, if security is not convenient or practical for your everyday life, nobody's going to use it. So you have to build it with that end user in mind and what they need, yet still you can't take any shortcuts around the level and quality of the security that you're providing. And that's our background doing this for very high profile, high net worth clients means that we understand that, those initial customers of ours are targets of some of the most sophisticated cyber threats, but they're also some of the most discerning clients. And so building with that in mind, now we're able to bring that same level of service to everyone. What Rubica provides that's different is a three-dimensional type of cybersecurity, which has never before been available to individuals. With Rubica, you can download our app on all of your devices and connect securely from anywhere in the world because we encrypt your connection to the internet. Secondly, all of your traffic is routed through our enterprise-grade security stack, which it contains a host of different automated blocking tools and rule sets and feeds to protect you automatically from known malware, phishing, browser exploits, etc. And that's a continually evolving rule set that's always becoming more and more sophisticated. But third, which is the most important piece, your data is also being analyzed by our team of human cyber experts who are looking for behavioral and anomaly. They're using behavioral and anomaly detection to find even hidden threats. So that means that we don't have to know the threat exists to find it. We can find even emerging unknown new threats. And everyone benefits from the herd immunity of our stack because once we find a threat and protect one person, that's built back into the ecosystem to protect everyone else. And third, the most important piece of our three-dimensional security.
Wait a moment, you're
Okay.
on the side.
And third, the most important piece of our three-dimensional security is our human analyst team, which is also looking at all of your data and traffic to run anomaly and behavioral detection on that traffic. And that allows them to find even hidden, emerging, unknown threats. And every time they find one of those, that gets remediated and built back into the system to protect everyone else. So you benefit from herd immunity, and the more people that connect to Rubica, the more protected everyone is. Our human analysts and our cyber expert team also acts as your on-call security advisors for anything you need. So we can proactively help you with tips to make your online cyber hygiene better for your family, or we can react to any questions that you might have about the latest thing in the news or something you might be scared about. We have a human team on call in the US to help you with anything related to cybersecurity and help you make you a more informed consumer so you can make your own security and privacy decisions and integrate security into your life in a way that makes sense for you. So nothing is protecting that ecosystem. For example, the apps that we download on our phones. You can't assume that just because an app is in the App Store or because it looks like an innocuous kids game, for instance, you can't assume that it's safe. There's a lot of malware that hides in plain sight under the guise of being a legitimate app. Or as another example, it used to be that you had to be doing something kind of sketchy online to get infected, or you had to be clicking on things, and that's not true today. You can be just viewing a website, reading an article, and some of the ads along the side could have malware in them that automatically download onto your machine. So a lot of this is invisible, and frankly, I've been asked before, what does it feel like to be hacked? It feels like you go online, you log on to a site to book travel, you book your travel, and then you close your browser. That's what it feels like. It's hard to know unless you know what you're looking for, and that's part of what Rubica makes the invisible visible by detecting these kind of hidden underground things that are pervasive on the internet now. Yeah, cybercrime is a global organized industry. It's actually organized crime that's moved online, and recent estimates are that this is a $600 billion per year industry that funds all other crime, arms trafficking, drug trafficking. So the R&D budget for cyber criminals is massive, and it's not going away because there's a lot of money to be made, and there's a lot of incentive on the bad guy side to continually innovate around whatever the latest and greatest technical protections are. Which is why it's imperative for real cybersecurity to have ongoing monitoring, detection, prevention, and remediation, which is what Rubica is. Cybersecurity is a team effort. You're only as strong as your weakest link. So the more, it's all well and good if you're very careful about what you click on and you're very diligent about your cybersecurity. But if your spouse and your kids and your lawyer and your executive assistant aren't, then that's going to be your weak link. So what Rubica allows is this broadened network of it's a safer way to connect to the internet. And the more of us that join it, the more secure we are.